All right, now we are recording, everybody. So I think I'm going to change my background. What background do I feel like today? I'm in the mood for sailing. There we go. That's my background today. Okay. So how's everybody feeling? It's Thursday. Fascinating. So the banking workshop.
A little tired.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm tired as well.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So those of you who were at the banking workshop yesterday, give me some feedback. Did you find it useful? Did you find the information not useful? Give me some feedback, some information.
Yes, teacher, the workshop very important and interesting and very helpful. And we ask a question and they are answer precisely on our question.
Very good.
I think it's very important to know about the banking process.
I do too. Yeah. Good. I'm very glad to hear that. Anyone else want to share?
Yes, I appreciate. And the financial education, it's very important.
Financial education. Yeah.
Yes.
I also agree. I wish I got a better financial education when I was a kid. I think it should be taught in this, middle school, secondary school level, or even younger.
I started my financial education when I was 7 years old at my parents' bakery.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you learn working in your parents' bakery?
I love numbers. Today I continue to learn more and more every day.
I like that. Nice. Do you know how to? Are you an experienced baker?
Yes, and the money. I will save and the money.
Nice. Can you make?
And the more control.
I'm curious, Fernanda. Can you make brigadeiro?
I love brigadeiro.
But I'm wondering, do you know how to make it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe one day you could give a presentation and teach the class. That would be. I did not know you grew up in a bakery. That's good to know. So maybe one weekend when I'm doing some baking, I'll ask you for a few recipes.
Do you favor brigadeiro and black or white? It depends on the chocolate.
Black, I think.
The black.
Yeah, I like the chocolate ones better. I do.
Okay.
I prefer chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a Brazilian dessert. They're like small. Think of like the munchkins at Dunkin' Donuts, but a lot more rich and creamy. Nice. Okay. Anyone else have some feedback for the banking workshop? Guadalupe, Kimberly?
Can you repeat, teacher?
Anyone else have some feedback?
Oh, I could not attend yesterday.
Okay, no problem. No problem. All right. So let's get started. And I can see everybody's a little sleepy. It's all right. Now,
I can share something, George.
Sure. Yeah, Guadalupe, go for it.
Yesterday, we could see some of the benefits of a bank. And for example, we could review what is a saving account, what is a deposit direct. 402k, there is a plan to save money for the retirement. And the normal that is a checking account and the requirement of how to open an account.
Mhm.
So it was a good opportunity to have a very to study very a lot of options of how to save money
Mm.
to reach our goals. So it was good.
Nice. I know I was in the same breakout room with you. I didn't want to call on you to force you to say anything, but I was really impressed at the questions you were asking, Guadalupe. I could even the host could tell that you had really done your homework beforehand. You had very precise questions. And I think they were all very impressed.
Thank you.
That's it. So let's get started sharing essays. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to review how to the process of sharing a Google document with everybody. So everyone who has completed the essay, except for I saw 3 just before I started the class that I didn't leave comments on. I think they were just recently submitted because I got up early to leave comments on all of them. 3 I saw just recently turned in. So there are 3 essays I didn't leave comments on, but so don't feel bad. Everybody who's turned in an essay, I'm going to put you in small groups and you can practice sharing essays and reading. And what I want everyone to focus on is this simple question. Is the thesis statement clear? So that's the question I want everyone to focus on when you share essays with each other. What do I mean by is the thesis statement clear?
Sorry.
Go for it.
You mean if the thesis statement has all the information in the beginning and if it's direct about the topic that it's talking about?
Yes, but even more basic than that. Even more fundamental.
I have something.
Yes, share please.
If the thesis statement has the argument and the evidence that prove the arguments.
Correct. That's exactly what I mean by clear. So yes, so when you read the paper, do I know very clearly in that first paragraph what this person is trying to argue? And throughout, are they supporting their argument? So that's what I want you to keep in mind. So when you're reading it, are they just giving loosely related information that doesn't seem to focus? That's when the thesis statement is not clear. Or is it very clear from paragraph 1 what they're going to argue, and then throughout the paper they're giving supporting details, good evidence to back up their argument? What I like about this class in particular is that there were multiple arguments in regards to the question. So let's get a little reminder. What was the prompt, the question I asked for this essay? I'll just type it. Is Kimberly?
If gentrification has improved Boston, Jamaica Plains.
Yeah. Paraphrasing, but that's pretty much. Has gentrification improved Boston's Jamaica Plain? So yes, that was the question. And your thesis statement needed to somehow go after that question. Yes or no, or whatever it is your argument. So your argument, your thesis statement has to answer that question. And when I put you into small groups to read each other's essays, you want to give each other feedback. If you believe the essay you're reading does answer the question, tell your partner how. If you believe the essay you're reading is off topic, not answering the question, then tell that to your partner.
George, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What about if about the gentrification improve Jamaica Plain? It's only mentioned in the restatement of thesis. Is that good, or we have to mention that also as well in thesis statement?
I'm going to do a little review of previous lessons. Here we go. Well, actually, take a look at the format of the, take a look, actually, I'm not going to go to it, Guadalupe. You want to go back to the outline format. So you make your thesis statement. You can use a hook if you like in the first paragraph. Make a thesis statement, body paragraph, supporting evidence, conclusion, returning back to your thesis statement. So to answer that question, you want to go back to the outline format that I gave everybody.
Okay.
All right, so what I'm going to do right now is give everyone a little review about sharing Google Documents, because when I put you into small groups, you want to be able to go into your own Google document. First, minimize the Zoom screen, so you're not just looking at blank squares on Zoom. Minimize that. Go into your own Google Drive, take a look at your paper that you wrote, share it with your partner. So, sounds simple, sounds like something we do all the time, but it's very important to review. So here we go. I am minimizing the Zoom screen. I'm going into my Google Drive right now. There's my email. Click on the waffle. Go into Google Drive. Now, I'm not going to share my paper because I didn't write a paper. I'm going to share a blank document. Blank document, just as an example. So, open up the Google document. In your case, you'll be pulling out your paper that you wrote. And to share it, what do we do? Who could tell me what's next?
We go to share.
Beautiful. To share it, we click share. There we go. So, of course, yeah, I need to give it, I'll just say sharing document. Okay. So, yes. Now, what do I do?
Then you add the people that you're gonna send the document.
Right. So there's two ways you can do this. You could type the emails of the people that you are going to share it with. You could type that up here, or you could do this. And what is this?
You can share your link, the link of your document.
Exactly. Now, one thing that's very important is you want to, if I'm going to share the link, what settings do I want to add?
The people that you send the links are the only one that can see the document, or yeah, or
Right.
anyone on the.
Yeah,
Okay.
so if I adjust the setting, anyone with the link, anyone on the internet can view this link can view. Now, I want to switch it to viewer, from viewer to either commenter or editor. Either one is fine. Commenter means you can write comments in the right margins. Editor means you can actually go in and make changes, whatever you're comfortable with. But you want to switch it from viewer to one of these. Does that make sense?
Yes, teacher. I have a question, by the way.
Yes.
If I choose editor, the people that I choose, that I send the link, cannot comment, just make.
They can comment, but they can also rewrite what you wrote.
Oh, okay. Thank
So, and I just want to make sure that the person, if you're switching it to editor, just make sure the person you're speaking to knows what they're doing, knows not to totally rewrite what you wrote.
All right.
So you want to make sure that you're not sharing it with a person who's totally lost and said, what am I doing? What am I doing? This computer's scaring me. And they're completely rewriting what you wrote. And you say, stop, that's my paper. So everybody understand?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So what I'm going to do right now, I've loosely remembered who turned in the papers and who didn't. So everybody who did not turn in a paper, I'm going to put you all in the same group so you can finish your writing. Everybody who did, I'm going to put you all in smaller groups so you can read each other's writing. Here we go. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and let's break up into smaller groups to rewrite. Oh, and what you want to focus on for reading each other's papers, is this focused on the thesis statement? Is the thesis statement clear? So here we go. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and I'm going to double check to make sure I'm putting the right people together. Folks who did turn in the papers. Yes. Okay, good. All right. Very good. Okay. So it's going to take, because I'm going to mix it, I'm not just automatically generating the groups, I'm actually deliberately putting individuals together. So I'm going to make 5 breakout rooms. Here I go. I'm going to assign this manually. Here we go. Okay. Everyone who did not finish, I'm going to put you in breakout room 1. Here we go. So you can finish it together. Okay, so breakout room 1, that's folks who didn't finish, who are still writing. Okay. Breakout room 2. I'll put Fernanda and actually, no, I'm going to put Marvat and Carl, 2 different writing styles. That'll be nice to see. Okay. And breakout room 3. Jose and Wafa. Breakout room 4. Inmar and Kimberly. Breakout room 5. Fernanda and Guadalupe. Okay, good. That'll be a nice mix. Okay. Everybody ready?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
forgot to ask, is anybody on their phone? Because it'll be really hard to do this if you're on your phone right now. Well, actually, you can do it. It'll just be a little tricky. Nobody's on their phone? Okay, great. All right, breakout room time. Here we go. Okay.
Adornment.
Adornment.
Dormant.
Adornment.
Good.
Adornment.
Ceremony.
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 Very nice. Okay. Component.
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 Component. Very good. Cultivation.
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 Very nice. Elder.
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 Elder. Framework.
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 Limitation.
Limitation.
Imitation.
Limitation. Oh, I'm sorry, imitation. I'm sorry, I read that
Imitation.
wrong. I'm so
Imitation.
sorry. I read that completely wrong. Imitation.
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 Oh, yeah. This is a really tough one, so I'm going to say this very slow. Interdependency.
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 Very good, very good. All right. Perspective.
Perspective.
Very nice. Procurement.
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 Coincide.
Coincide.
Disperse.
Disperse.
Manipulate.
Manipulate.
Orchestrate.
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 Abundant.
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 All right. Almost there. Cognitive.
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 Qualified.
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 Very nice. Symbolic.
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 Good, very good. Okay, so lots of tricky words there. Does anybody see a word that they have seen before, used before, or they can pretty much figure it out because it looks like another word?
Ceremony, component.
Ceremonies. There we go. Good, good, good. Who, Madhavat, can you put the word ceremony into a sentence?
Yes. We have a ceremony in the first of the month.
Very good. Very good. Let me see. I'm actually going to use the document camera. Well, no, I'm not going to use the document camera right now, but it was a couple weeks ago we read the part of the section of the textbook with ceremonies. That's on page 63. So if anybody has their book right now, page 63, it says gestures, manners of eating, marriage, ceremonies, dancing, social interactions, and artifacts, tools, pottery, clothing, architectural features, machines. And it's talking about what makes up defining culture. Good job, Marvat. Who wants to identify another word that they recognize, perhaps they have seen before?
Manipulate.
Manipulate. Go for it. Is that Francelis or Kimberly?
Kimberly.
Kimberly.
She manipulated the occasion very well. The situation very well.
Manipulated the situation very well. Very nice. And that is, I'll tell you which page that one is. We didn't read that in class, but I assigned one homework related to the text. But I'll tell you where the word manipulate is. It is yes, it's on page 71. 71. I'll actually just for this, I will show everybody the paragraph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my document camera here. There we go. Just so everybody can see, on page 71, here is the word manipulate. There we go. Zoom in right there. Aha. Okay. So this is about horticultural societies that depend on cultures that depend on growing agriculture, plants, farming. So right here where the word manipulate comes in, it says horticulturalists need the knowledge and skills to manipulate nature. So in this context, the word manipulate,
Nature.
What
Yeah.
page, teacher?
what's that?
What page?
71.
71.
71.
71.
71. Manipulate nature. So just in the context of that paragraph 8, page 71, what does the word manipulate mean? To manipulate
Work
nature.
with hands.
It does. It does. It means to, in this case, that
fix?
also means to alter, to not so much to fix, it's to interfere with, to change. So the picture given right here are people manipulating nature. How are they manipulating nature?
By
I find
hands.
the great condition for the culture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they're not they're using the land for their own purposes. They're manipulating it, cultivating it, capitalizing on the land around them. So that's the context of the word manipulate. Very good. Any other words here on this list that we'd like to imitate?
Imitation.
Sure, imitation. All right, imitation. I'm gonna, let's see, imitation. I believe that's the first reading. It was way back in. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen now. Imitation. That was way back at the beginning of it. There it is. Imitation. Actually, that's not it. That's not where it is. Imitation. I think it's actually in the third reading that we haven't gone over. Imitation.
64.
Finding imitation.
64.
64?
Yeah.
Was it in the first reading? I just missed it. Oh, it's the other second page. Right. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much. There it is. There's imitation. Right here. Okay. Other ways of learning include observation and imitation of others and trial and error. Trial and error.
Trial and error.
Trial and error. Other ways of learning include observation and imitation of others and trial and error. Very good, very good. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to go back to sharing my for the vocabulary here. So yes, we've gone over ceremony, manipulation, imitation. Let's see. Anyone else have a question about anyone else see a word that they believe they're familiar with?
Component.
Component. Yes. Marvat. Components, that's actually one of the subtitles on page 63, components of culture. If everybody sees page 63, the first paragraph in the middle where components is highlighted, it says, if you are listening to today, a group of anthropologists, I'll go back there to my document camera. There it is. Everybody can see right about there. That's where components. If you are listening today to a group of anthropologists discussing culture, various specific components of culture will be mentioned. In this case, what is the word component? How would you describe that, Madhavat?
Component mean something divided to categories. The item which divided, or I don't know.
Like
In general, words
combination.
is a part of something.
Like a,
That's true, yes, a piece of something. That's
It's
it.
like
Was
an,
that, I think it was Edmar?
it's
Who said
like
that?
an element,
Okay.
elements.
An element, yeah, and that would be a good synonym.
Yes, it is.
Kimberly has her hand up. What are you thinking, Kimberly?
Yeah, teacher, I have a question. What is interdependency means?
Good question. What I'm going to do for this one, I'm going to actually break it down. I'm not
Can
going
I
to
say
just direct
something?
everybody to the,
Yeah.
yeah, Wafa, yeah.
I mean, inter is something inside. Dependency
correct.
is something like related to inter.
Mhm. So what Wafa is doing is she's figuring out how to infer the meaning of this new word. So I was actually about to start demonstrating what Wafa is demonstrating for everyone. So when I look at this whole word, interdependency, that's a little scary. What in the world does that mean? Let's break it down.
Depends.
What does it mean to depend?
Depend.
To relate on something.
Something.
If you depend on something, what does it mean?
You need something to do.
You
Yeah.
need it. Yeah,
need
something is needed. You depend on, I don't know, your job to pay your bills, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what is, if I change it from the verb to a noun, what is dependency?
It's some kind of relations. With
That's
the,
right. That's right. So there's a dependency going on. Let's say if we're talking about business, the supermarket has a dependency with the farmers in the country.
Yeah.
The farmer grows the vegetables that they will sell at the supermarket. So if I want to say farmers in the country also have a dependency on the supermarket because that's how they make their money, where would the enter fall in?
Yeah, because like both of them depend to each other.
Exactly.
Like it's symbiosis.
Exactly. So the word interdependency is describing a relationship. Who used the word relationship already? I think that was Jose. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes, me.
that's essentially what it means.
Mhm.
And it's on page 71. It says, alliances and interdependencies are formed outside of one's lineage. So an interdependency, that's this give and take relationship. One needs the other
Yeah.
to function. So that's what interdependency means. But the reason I wanted to break down the word is because oftentimes when you read something, you're going to see new words and you want to be able to break it down naturally. Oh, I've never seen this before. How do I break this down? Okay, I know dependency, interdependency. Okay, so there's this relationship internally. One needs the other. All right, so we'll go over these again next week, but I wanted to take a little time today to play with the vocabulary, do a little pronunciation. And now I'm going to introduce an assignment for next week. So how many of you have used Google Slides before? Google Slides. How many of you have used PowerPoint slides before?
I use it before.
PowerPoint
too.
slides and
I used
Google
before.
Slides are almost exactly the same. They're almost the same. So what I want everybody to start playing with between now and next class is this. If you go to your Google Drive, click on the yellow icon that says slides, and you can open up a blank slideshow document. Totally blank, and just play with the functions. You can give a background, you can do whatever you want. It works almost the same way as PowerPoint slides. Play with those. Well, I'll give you a more in-depth journey into making Google Slides next week. But I'm going to assign everybody a presentation. And now I'll show you what the presentation will be about. So I hope everybody's getting excited. So here is Google Classroom, Google Doc presentation, April 14th. April 14th, that's the last day before the holiday. I will actually be away. I might extend this to after the vacation. You'll have a substitute teacher who will most likely be one of our program directors. And this is the assignment. Thursday of next week, we'll practice giving presentations, not of our papers. Let me, using Google Slides. There it is. That's what I meant to say. Create a Google slide presentation with 5 slides. Show everyone a neighborhood where you feel you belong. Give us the history of that community and show us what it looks like today. No more than 25 words per slide. Provide good images and prepare to speak for at least 4 minutes. All right. So the topic is show everyone a neighborhood where you feel you belong. So the theme of this chapter is culture. And that's why I gave everyone an assignment about the neighborhood JP and Boston's Latin Quarter. Now I want you to share neighborhoods that you have lived in or live in right now. It can be anywhere, a place you grew up, a place you lived in only 1 year, 2 years, 20 years, your whole life, wherever. Think of a place where you feel that you belong. So everyone here has the experience of living in different countries, but very often when we live in different places, one place or another is where we feel we belong. And it's a very human relationship that we have to an environment. You might spend your entire life in one place, 30 years, 40 years, and you try as hard as you can. You might learn the language, you might, have a career, have friends, but for one reason or another, you don't quite belong. You're pretty close, but for one reason or another, you're thinking, no, not yet. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you come from a place and you're given the message, even though you were born here, you grew up here, this is all you know, still you don't quite belong. So it's a unique relationship with everybody. Does everybody understand what I'm talking about? A place where you belong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So great. And this community, this could be anywhere. So think of a neighborhood somewhere in the world that you believe it's the place where you belong. It could be where you just moved. It could be a place you've lived for 2 weeks. It could be a place you were born. And it could be a place that doesn't exist anymore. That happens. Places disappear. Communities go away for many reasons. But you might give us a presentation about a community that was destroyed. And you might say, this is my neighborhood that I used to live in when I was 10 years old. It doesn't exist anymore. It was destroyed, and today it's a big football stadium. Or, there was a war and it was destroyed. It could be anything. and everybody will have a very different story to tell. Does that make sense?
Yeah, teacher.
All right. Good, good, good. Okay, so just that question, a place where you belong. Let's wrap it up with a few breakout rooms. What is a place where you feel like you belong? Is it where you live now? Is it where you once lived? Or is it a place that you want to live? That's the question to wrap up class today. The place where you belong.
Okay.
I'm gonna recreate breakout rooms, 3 breakout rooms, and mix everybody up. Okay. Yep, I'm looking at the computer just generated new breakout rooms. All right. So think of a place where you belong that you're gonna develop a Google slide presentation for. Here we go. Doesn't exist anymore. Yep.